What's up, guys? This is Jay. As those of you may know, we recently launched our Patreon, and Pops has dedicated himself to making exclusive original art for each versus battle, and you guys have a chance to win. Even at our lowest tiers, you can win Generation Geek hoodies, shirts, and other prizes. Link to the Patreon is in the description below. And who do you guys got in this versus video? Enjoy. What's up, guys? This is Jay from Generation Geek, and today we got another one for you. We have two Titans of Marvel going head to head. We have my man's Apocalypse and Cybernoir, the first mutant, versus the Titan himself, Thanos. Of course, we have some things to go on this battle, some caveats, some things we got to work through. So Thanos with no Infinity Gauntlet, no Cosmic Cube, no Heart in the Universe, and of course no Apocalypse with the power of the 12. Obviously in that storyline he almost had the power to warp all of reality, so we're not using him as well, but we might caveat a little bit and use a little bit of Age of Apocalypse, since that is just a version of Apocalypse in which Charles Xavier did not exist in our reality because Legion took him out. But it really is no difference between that Apocalypse and regular standard 616 Apocalypse. But as always, if you guys are new here, please like, share, and subscribe, and join the Geek fam. We'll love to have you. First off, we have my man's Apocalypse, Big Blue. Apocalypse is one of my favorite villains of all time, right there up with Dr. Doom and Black Adam. I love Apocalypse. I love his character. I love his line. Any of you that have seen the original 90s X-Men cartoon, you know all the famous lines that Apocalypse had. This man is a pure beast. His powers include obviously super strength, invulnerability, durability, all of that stuff. He also has the main ability to control his molecular structure. So yes, Apocalypse can do almost everything that Mr. Fantastic can do and Mystique can do, and then some. But what sets Apocalypse apart is that long ago he made a deal with the Celestials in which he got celestial tech, which boosts and amplifies his powers to a whole nother level. He also had got the Death Seed, which obviously amplify him even more. He also has some mental powers. He's able to go toe-to-toe with Jean Grey, was able to access the astral plane with Cable and things like that, so he does have some mental prowess as well. He also has energy projection, which comes from the celestial technology. It's not a base power of his, but at this point with that and a techno-organic virus inside of him, it might as well just be a part of him, so it is a part of his base kit. And yeah, Apocalypse is just an all-out beast. It takes teams of the X-Men, X-Force, all of them just to be able to stand a chance against Apocalypse. I mean, you literally got Black Bolt and Cyclops literally blasting this man along with the rest of their teams, and it's really doing nothing. He's just growing his size. He was able to go toe-to-toe with the High Evolutionary, which is super impressive. As always, I say the High Evolutionary at his height was able to go toe-to-toe with freaking Galactus himself, so he's up there, and Apocalypse was able to joke and laugh and really taunt this man the entire time he was fighting, so we have to put some respect on Apocalypse and himself. Another thing that people seem to forget is that Apocalypse also went against the Phoenix Force, Jean Grey, which we know is, the Phoenix's favorite host is Jean, but he also was able to use the Death Seed. The Celestials created these beings a long time ago called the Exterminators. The Exterminators were meant to be the anti-life to what the Phoenix Force is of death and rebirth. So they were meant to literally extinguish life in the universe. But what happened was, is all things happen with creation, and as we see what happened with the Beyonders as well, is that these Exterminators end up turning against the Celestials and even took some of them out. So what the Celestials did was they put them in this pocket universe, well, a separate dead universe, and that's where they resided. And then eventually in one story arc, they came back out, and they literally needed to give Jean the Death Seed in order to go against and counteract these anti-Phoenix beings. So Apocalypse has that same power within him. Now the issue is that Apocalypse, despite all his power and all his knowledge and how long that he's had the celestial tech and the technology, is he still has never accessed that power within the Death Seed. So that's my biggest thing with Apocalypse. He doesn't use the Death Seed to his full potential, and of course we cannot use Apocalypse if he is to reach his full potential, because we really don't know, and we haven't explored that in comics. But it is an interesting fact that he does have that power within him. And then we have the main man, Thanos. I mean, what more needs to be said about the Titan? Everybody's seen the Infinity War and Saga movies and stuff like that, and that is nowhere close to the power that Thanos actually has. Thanos has obviously the super strength, the durability, all those things would just come with just the big brick brutish guys, but he also has energy projection, he has cybernetic enhancements, and he even has power over magic. Now, it has been revealed recently that Apocalypse does have that half magic as well. Probably not the same level of Thanos, because we saw Thanos able to resurrect Deadpool, and he has some, talents when it comes to necromancy and things like that. But Apocalypse does have some mutant powers which aren't quite defined, but we see obviously him always shoot energy blasts, so that's nothing different. But he was able to use like Krakoan ancient magic and the whole thing with Saturnine and the Captain Britain course and all that. He was involved in that, and he also has done some rituals and stuff like that with the external, so he does have some power. Now, the most interesting thing about Thanos, which I believe is highly underlooked, is that Thanos is an external and deviant hybrid. So technically, Thanos is a mutant. So that makes it more interesting. Now, I'm hoping that Marvel one day explores that and have him do some type of crossover with the X-Men and with the Apocalypse, with him having, you know, mutant genes. Technically, I don't know if he has an X gene, but he is a mutant among his race. So that can be a really interesting thing to delve into. But with all things, Thanos has some of the highest feats ever in Marvel. Like, Thanos has literally gone toe to toe with Galactus himself. Literally Galactus was fighting this man, and the thing about Thanos is Thanos has these shields, and they're so powerful that Galactus literally had to exert himself just to break through Thanos' shield. And right before that, Thanos was actually able to send Galactus off his feet. So when it comes to Thanos, he might not be as powerful as beings such as Galactus or the Celestials, like singularly, but with his planning and his scheming and his ability to obviously accumulate power. That's what Thanos does, accumulate power. He's able to go toe to toe with some of these guys. He's also been able to fight against Thor with the freaking power gem, which is just crazy. Like, him and Thor was literally just going back and forth until eventually Thanos just got tired of it and got the stasis beam and put him in stasis. Then on the other side, we do have Apocalypse, who was able to freaking manhandle Thor. Now, this is Thor without Mjolnir, so, or power gem. This is a young Thor, but he did hit Thor so hard that he almost removed his spine from his body. So yes, he might not have Mjolnir, but Thor's power and durability is still Thor's power and durability. So he almost knocked off Thor's head from his shoulders. And then if we want to go a little too deeper, and you guys, I know y'all gonna give me some grief about this, but if you remember in the Secret Wars art with God Emperor Doom, there was the entire Thor Corps, which was literally Thors from every universe. They were literally Dr. Doom's, or God Emperor Doom's police force. And Apocalypse was shown manhandling multiple Thors, even freaking taking out Boar Thor all by himself, and they literally couldn't land a hand on him. Like the Boar Thor, you had Jane Foster Thor, you had Ultimate Thor, like all of these Thors with all of these planet shattering power, and Apocalypse himself was manhandling him. Even in like past events outside of that, he was able to fight Jane Foster and a young Thor by himself. So Apocalypse definitely is up there in that tier of power, and he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And of course we have Thanos too, who has some similar feats. Like, he's able to on many occasions, you know, swat the Hulk away. Even in one instance was able to literally mind control the Hulk, because he said that he had a weak mind, even though on some issues it does state that he refuses to, you know, engage in prolonged direct combat with the Hulk, simply because we know the angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets, and the longer that he's in a fight, of course he's going to get stronger. But then on the other side, we've also literally seen Apocalypse, which to my knowledge is literally one of the first people to ever really manhandle Hulk. Like, and I think this was Savage Hulk, in which he restrained him and turned Hulk into his horseman. So again, when it comes to strength, I feel like they're about even when it comes to that. And of course we have, you know, Thanos slaying the cosmic beings and stuff like that. And this is where it kind of hurts Apocalypse, because Apocalypse has said to being able to have slayed Celestials and things like that, but this is a lot of like off-panel stuff, like said from Dark Beast and things like that. And so it's really hard to tell, but we do know with the Death Seat in him, he does have the power to rival the Phoenix, which in turn can take out Celestials. And that's a whole power scaling thing, but again, we have no real proven fact or seen him do it, so I can't really lean on that. So I would have to give that edge to Thanos when it comes to just conquering in general. Thanos obviously has way more feats over Apocalypse, but then again, that's a writer's issue. And then when it comes to energy projection, I will say that Apocalypse does have some pretty impressive showings. He's able to turn his arms into guns and cannons and rocket boots and stuff like that. So when it comes to energy and the abilities that he gets from the celestial technology, he definitely has the energy projection to contend with Thanos. But again, from the showings that we've seen literally him go against Odin. We've seen him go against Galactus and cosmic beings and Adam Warlock. So when it comes to energy projection, I'm gonna have to give it to Thanos. Now we've seen obviously, you know, Apocalypse use, you know, eye beams, laser beams and stuff like that, but the people he's gone against compared to people that Thanos has gone against, it's really not even close. As far as scaling goes, again, we don't really know the upper potential of Apocalypse powers because he's just not written that way.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
What's up, guys? This is Jay. As you guys know, we love making content for you guys, but as we're starting to notice, many of you are watching, but many of you are not subbing. So why not join the Geek fam? Come rock with us. Just hit that sub button, hit the bell. We'll love to have you. Y'all be blessed. Peace. When it comes to intelligence, I will probably give the edge to Thanos. Maybe. We do know that obviously with the celestial technology that Apocalypse does have an extensive knowledge of things like the astral plane and obviously just the cosmic landscape as a whole, and he's able to genetically engineer people and transform and stuff like that with the technology, so he is pretty intelligent. But Thanos, again, the stuff that he's done with the scheming and things like that, Apocalypse has not been able to get off Earth with his schemes versus Thanos, who is working on a cosmic level. You talking about regular Thanos and Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, like he literally works on just a level higher than what Apocalypse does, but it's not that Apocalypse can contend with them. Again, it's the comics in which he's written. He's going against the X-Men, which are mainly, Earth-based threats and things like that. Aside from the Phoenix and the Shire stuff, they mainly deal on, the earthly plane and the Earth level, and not counting the Rocco and stuff like that. That's a whole new thing, but literally, these usually are just an Earth-based threat. Then if you want to come to the magic, I would say the magic's about even. Like, neither one of them are going against Doctor Strange or Doctor Doom when it comes to magic. They're pretty knowledgeable in the things that they do know or what they've shown, but neither of them is like master tier sorcerers from the things that we've seen. So I would say they're about even when it comes to that as well. But of course, there must be a winner. And if it's not obvious by now, it's definitely Thanos. And I hate to say this because, again, it's not based off power, because if you look at Apocalypse's power set, he can almost give himself any power. He has the level of beings he's gone against, like Black Bolt and stuff like that, and of course Thanos has gone against them as well and literally tanked the blast. He should be able to be on that tier of power and on that tier of just scaling and just planning and stuff like that, simply with just the tools that he has at his disposal. The fact is that he's so stuck on what Earth is about, the survival of the fittest and cultivating the mutant kind, and most mutant kind is based on Earth, so that's where he keeps his attention to. So it's not that Apocalypse can't transcend that, because we've seen against him go against a Phoenix power Jean Grey, and we know how much power she has, and that was obviously a more perfect host. But we also seen Thane go against Thanos, his son, and while they're brawling, and Thane obviously didn't have nowhere near as control of the Phoenix as Jean Grey did, but as they're battling and fighting, they're literally destroying planets. Like the whole God Corey arc, they were literally destroying planets. So it's not that Apocalypse can't operate on that tier of power. It's just simply how he's written, he hasn't been shown to do that. So until then, we're going to have to put this one on hold, and we got to give it to Thanos. What do you guys think? Do you feel like I missed something? Do you think Apocalypse should win? If you have any reasons why, I would love to hear in the comments below. And again, of course, healthy comments, healthy conversation. We don't need any toxicity in the comments, but we always love the debates and stuff like that, because it keeps the argument going, keeps the channel going, and we love having just being able to, geek out and just have a conversation. But what do you guys think? As always, if you are new here, please like, share, subscribe, and join the Geek fam. We'll love to have you. As usual, I am Jay. Y'all be blessed, and peace.